on DVD.
Yeah. Dude, food is a constant. So
That scares crap out of me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think this
Some rats.
that chicken when he goes out in the barn.
Yeah. And the rats just doing normal stuff.
We should probably be recording this conversation.
Yeah, I just started.
That
Okay.
footage, of the rats on there. I always wondered if they were they really shooting those things because it looked like hide and powder.
Dude, it
come
looked
up.
like they had to be. You know, PETA would be all over that shit in this day and age.
Yeah, it was freaky.
Back then they could.
Yeah.
There wasn't so much of a.
Could do some animal torture back
I
then.
don't think.
Yeah,
PETA.
like you go back and watch that, and it looks
Yeah.
like they were shooting them with pellet guns or 22s or something. It was crazy.
And
like
they go completely out of screen.
Just blows them out of the screen. So
Wasn't one of which creature they were in the RV towards the end, right? Weren't they in an RV at one point?
Yeah.
The creatures were trying to get in.
I have trouble remembering the
I remember there
layout
was
of the movie. I just remember the horrific parts.
there was a little VW bug in it, didn't they?
Yes.
it was rats were
got dragged out of it.
Yeah, that's all I rember
Yeah.
car wise. But
Classic, man.
yeah,
Yep.
another one I've got to look up, see if I can find it, because probably the scariest kid I watched back at that point in time at that age was there was a movie called Let's Scare Jessica to Death.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, I have that.
You have
I
that
bought
too?
it-
Todd's
Okay.
got all these
Man.
classics.
Yeah, I have all. I've been back
B-movie
to the
classics.
60s and 70s, absolutely.
We might
Yeah.
have to do a movie episode.
Okay. Yeah, we could do that for sure.
Just might have to
That
review
can always,
a few-
we can always tangent onto movies, right?
Oh, yeah. When I was up visiting him in Boise, we, back to that Jaws thing, we were having breakfast one morning and the waitress came out. And because for some reason it was reissued 4K, UHD, Jaws. And she came out and she had like this kind of distressed Jaws shirt on, right? I was like, brilliant film. I love that film. You know that just got reissued on 4K, or he's like a dork, right? She looks at me like, oh, yeah. Oh, cool.
What'd you
know?
say? I thought it was kind of a cheesy
Well,
movie
we go,
or something.
love the film. And she goes, yeah, I watched, I didn't think it was that scary.
That's what she said. That's right.
And he and I go, well.
I said, well, I was 6 when I saw that movie, so, you know.
I didn't realize
I
you
said
went
it's
because
scary.
I don't know what the cutoff was, but I remember him taking us to that, and just doing the math, I realized I was probably close to 9 or whatever.
Yeah.
I think you're right. I think it was 77 or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But I still watch it today. I love it.
yeah,
It's fantastic.
I just watched it within the last year. So, yeah, held up.
Yep.
Quint.
Solid.
Love
Quint,
Quint,
the best.
right? Oh, classic
He's the old
pirate.
crusty guy? Yeah, I
Yeah.
like that guy.
Yeah, his stories and songs.
Yeah. Exactly.
I love that guy. You need guys like that in the film. And then the contrast between the scientist, Dreyfus.
Yeah.
Oh, man. What are we going to do with my gear? You know what I mean? Ah, shut up, you stupid kid. This makes film so great. Characters.
Yes, for sure.
Casting.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Much like bands.
Yes.
I don't know if you guys noticed, but I have my Welcome to the Jungle.
You have the Axl Rose mic today, yeah.
Did you notice that?
I did.
Because I just
Ah.
watched the video last night or the night before, and I was like, oh, hey, he's got an orange, whatever you call these things, split screens,
Yeah.
foam knob on his mic. So, yeah.
Yeah.
It's great everybody else can see it.
That's right. Yeah.
Good thing I pointed that out, huh?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Speaking of revisiting things, maybe I better go back and watch the video. I don't remember that.
Right. Yeah.
Here's a good copy on
I remember
YouTube.
that because I remember thinking, what a fucking ugly microphone. Why is that
Why
the
would
one
you
that
have
pick,
this?
Right?
Matching his hair.
I was going to say, yeah.
Make the band look prettier.
Right? Yeah.
Ugly gear. Let's make
Focus on this. That's a great version of it on YouTube too, because I don't know if you guys have seen some of those old videos, man. Some of them are like bad ups, they're 420.
Yeah.
They just pixely and grainy. You can barely make out the guy's definition of their
Right.
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 But welcome D-Train back.
Oh, great to be back.
Yes.
It's episode 8.
Say that.
Episode 8.
Episode 8. Okay, I was wondering. My friend back in Twin Falls was telling him I was doing this morning. And Tim Stastny ran.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyhow, I just said he wants a copy. So
Okay.
yeah. Okay, we'll figure this out.
Yeah. I want to get this published this week, so
Cool.
I'm going to get you guys the links once I get them up.
Right on.
Killer.
Yeah.
So Guns N' Roses.
Guns N' Roses today.
GNR. Hey,
Yeah.
speaking of videos, have you guys seen the video for, I think it's So Easy? That was,
I watched that too.
They made it and then they never released it.
It's cool.
But then it
man.
finally got released sometime fairly recently. Pretty cool video.
I wonder
Wow.
about that.
I don't think I've seen it.
yeah. So
I'll have to
Super cool.
look that up.
yeah.
Yeah. some little spiel at the first part about, well, we could make something for MTV, or else we could censor it or something.
Maybe.
And
Yeah.
then, yeah. I saw that back to back with that. Welcome to the Jungle. So
all right, cool.
great band, man.
Yeah.
My favorite of all time.
Really?
Yeah, definitely. Not just musically, I think, because my personal connection to them when I first moved to Hollywood. So
Right.
definitely have a few stories about that. But I still listen to Appetite for Destruction, and I just
Do you ever get tired of it?
no.
Because here's the thing, like all the singles that got played everywhere
I think I'm
and
with
still
you on
get
this
played
one.
everywhere, I'm just kind of like,
But if you listen to it in continuity,
maybe that makes the
it
difference.
fits.
right?
Yeah, I was blown away because I was with you. It was
Yeah.
like Sweet Child of Mine again, Paradise
Yeah.
City. I can't do this.
Right.
But I went back and listened to it front to back, and
Okay.
they just sit right in there.
And I'd have to agree with that. Like, if I'm listening to it, sometimes I even once in a while will skip through those if I'm listening to the whole
Yeah.
album. But man, when you listen to it in its entirety or whatnot,
Yeah.
unbelievable. Yeah,
Right.
my favorite.
I think highlights My Michelle for me. It's So Easy.
Yeah, I love Rocket Queen.
Rocket Queen. And Night Train, dude. I love Night Train, man.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that. I mean, yeah, I remember my introduction to him. Dustin was sending me stuff, little envelopes of press clippings and articles. It's like, hey, there's this band, Guns N' Roses, coming out, and I think Live Like a Suicide was the first release, and Phase 4 Stereo had a couple copies of it, so I bought it. I wasn't that into it initially.
It was Appetite.
No, it was
Live Like a
Like a
Suicide.
Suicide. That live EP, 6 songs, right?
Uh,
I think.
yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
moved
think so.
to the city.
Mama Ken.
Yeah.
Moved to the City was my favorite. But
That was a good one.
Man, I can't even think of the songs on it now.
Which that cassette got stolen at a party at the Tim Stastny house.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that cassette got stolen out of my collection, which I got. I replaced it on CD. But
Reckless Life. Nice
Reckless
Boys.
Life, yeah, Nice Boys.
Aerosmith cover, Mama Ken.
Yeah, Nice Boys.
Yeah, that's great.
Nice Boys, yeah.
You were kind of like, yeah.
Well, and when did they actually record that? That kind of
That came out in '86, I want to say.
Yep, you're right. It's
Yeah.
86. Yeah.
Because Appetite was
Because-
'87.
Yeah, the only way I remember, and I'm starting to kind of get 86 and 87 mixed up because I moved out to Hollywood then,
Yeah.
and that was the last year they had the Los Angeles street scene. So they'd have that in the summer, and just they'd have like I don't remember how many city blocks, blocked off, and just tons of stages. But I remember, Guns N' Roses played there, but I think most of it was from that EP.
Yeah. Okay.
But that was
what a
the
great
coolest thing.
time to live
and then
down there.
that was the very last year, and I caught it in its very last year. It was awesome.
That's cool.
So
That is so cool. And last time you told the story of trying out for Rough Cut.
yes,
I mean,
yeah.
just wow, mind blowing for a kid that grew up on all that stuff. You know
Yeah.
what I mean,
Right.
yeah.
Right.
But yeah, I did never have this. A friend of mine, Brandon, had it, and he was the first guy that had this, and I think it was But when we got together to play, he was a bass player. He had already had Appetite for Destruction, so I believe he was the one that
Okay.
turned me onto that. But yeah, it was different than the stuff because I was a huge Dokken fan, right? Still am. But that type of melodic heavy metal that was happening,
Right.
That type that was seemed to be everything that was going on, right?
Well, polished sound and
polished
a polished look of the
sound.
band,
and those shredder leads and the ballads.
That's the thing too that really kind of I found a little bit jarring is the picture of the band. It's like they look kind of scummy.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah,
you
you're
weren't
like, what are
used
you
to
guys
that.
doing?
You weren't used to that. Everything was very
Pretty
coiffed
boys.
and pretty
Yeah.
and
Absolutely.
So
Especially at that point
even
in the
Motley
80s.
even Motley doing their leather thing, it was still a very polished
Yeah, it was.
girls was still a very polished look,
Yeah,
so
for sure.
Definitely.
yeah, so
So that came. I was like,
I was like, but like I said,
it grows on you
it
so
grew on me pretty
fast.
quickly. Yeah. Faster Pussycat was coming around at the same time, and they had their thing going on. So
Yeah.
It's changing to a more dirtier, circa Aerosmith, 70s Aerosmith
Yeah.
type deal.
yeah,
Which all those bands were really influenced by them, that early stuff anyway. Some,
Yeah, absolutely.
Some
Yeah, for sure.
showing their colors more than others.
Yeah.
especially.
Right.
We did a
Sorry, Steven.
yeah,
Sorry,
right.
Steve. Yes.
We did a Faster Pussycat episode last week.
Okay.
And I
yeah.
was
Tell
telling
me
Todd that I don't know if these two albums were released the same day, but I got Faster Pussycat's debut and Appetite the same visit to the music store. Bought 'em-
store or whatever.
Yeah. Well, I think I bought that. Those
Oh,
are the music
in Twin,
company.
maybe?
The sound company.
Sound company. Sound.
Yeah.
company.
So I took them both home and I ran through both of them. And for me, Faster Pussycat won out.
Wow.
But I mean, GNR was that had to grow. That one had to grow on me, just
Yeah.
because it was rough. I mean,
It was a kick you in the
tight, but it was
face
rough.
type
It
of
was
stuff,
a whole, it was whole different deal. So
Yeah, I loved Faster Sleaze too.
Yeah.
But just pop sleaze, you know what I mean?
yeah,
Yeah.
Slinky and
Yeah.
yeah.
yeah,
But Faster, you're right. Or sorry, Guns, you're right. Kick you in the face.
Yeah,
hard.
yeah.
definitely.
Just a whole different kind of aggression, and
And in rock, it was the first time. Well, not the first time, but it's like I don't know how many times they used the F word
Yeah,
on that album.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
it was significant compared to anything that had
Right.
come
That's
out prior
true,
to that.
yeah.
So it was really it was jarring that way too.
yep, definitely.
Yeah, and like what the single was "Welcome to the Jungle" first, right? Of course.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think. But then when "Sweet Child of Mine," I mean, there was no him doing that first part on the Les Paul just dry. That lead thing, that hadn't been a lot of that going around. It wasn't any processing or anything on that. It was straight. So that was kind of a new introduction to
Yeah.
that type
Yeah.
of sound.
Yep.
Or at least I don't have any reference for anything else.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, killer record.
Right.
Yeah. In fact, interesting story. When I first got out to LA, one of the first guys I met and became friends with, his name was Carlos Ruiz. We just referred to him as Los. And he'd been out, he was from Oregon. He'd been living out there for, I don't know, probably maybe 6 to 9 months.
Does Los mean the? Los Lobos?
Spanish.
Yeah.
The wolves?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's
Killer!
Yeah, Los.
That is so bad.
I didn't
What's up,
think
Los?
about that.
What's up, the? Fuck you, gringo.
He was the best, man. And he just had a way with people. So people were really drawn to him. But anyway, so some of the first people he introduced me to was Wes Arkeen, who wrote some songs for Guns N' Roses, and from there I kind of met the other guys in the band. But one of my first meetings with Wes, I basically went up to his apartment, and I think he had a little Tascam 8-track recorder.
Yeah.
And I walked in, I didn't even know who it was, but it was Axl Rose, he was kind of standing on a couch, and we just talked for a little bit. Los introduced me. I don't remember staying there very long, but basically Wes gave me a cassette tape with some music on it and the lyrics for a song called Just Another Sunday, which you probably can find some old obscure recording of that somewhere. But the copy he gave me had Axl singing on it, and so he wanted me to come back the next day and record it as well. So that was my first introduction. Like, I didn't even know who Axl Rose was. I didn't know who Guns N' Roses were. I went and saw them for the first time.
Wow.
Probably a few months after that at the Roxy Theater. But it was kind of
Well,
interesting.
what's
so.
interesting, Dustin would dub these tapes and send them to me. So
Oh
I'm getting all these rough demos.
You don't even know who they are at the time, but now it's like, holy
yeah,
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were singing almost tandem with Axl Rose.
It was really weird. That was when we talk about the rough cut story versus how I kind of began to hang out with some of the guys in Guns N' Roses just through some of my friends.
Yeah.
Kind of a crapshoot. I mean, there's a million people out there trying to do the same thing, but it was great, man. It was a really cool experience.
That is great. Standing
Especially
on a
looking
couch,
back. Yeah, he was just standing there on the couch
singing on 8-track. Well,
Yeah.
you come do the next vocal. That was
Yeah.
some guy, Axl. Who he
Yeah.
is.
Yeah, because I remember him
Right.
being introduced to him too. And,
Just think, man. Maybe it was you. You could have been the guy that was Guns N' Roses singer.
well,
In
Wes,
a parallel universe, right?
exactly.
Shift everything.
Well, Wes, a little later after that, Wes ended up getting a deal. I think it was with Virgin Records,
Oh, really?
but where he wrote. I don't even remember. I think he had to come up with about 10 songs a year for him. Got paid a big salary. Then those songs would end up on.
10 a year?
I think it was 10 a year, and I don't remember all the bands that his songs ended up on. There was like the Sea Hags, there was
Asphalt Ballet.
Asphalt Ballet, Crash Diet, and Axl. You can probably find a copy or a version of that.
You'd send me a version of that. With
Yeah,
Axl
yeah. You
singing
can
it,
probably find an obscure
yeah.
version of that with Axl Rose singing "Crash Diet" that ended up on Asphalt Ballet's album. Yeah.
I miss my calling. Like, I wish I could.
Songwriting gig, right?
But then have all the guys that you wrote, Asphalt Ballet, all these different bands, you
Yeah.
know, instead of just.
So see, he did the Sea Hags song, huh?
Yeah.
'Cause Todd only recently got into the Sea Hags.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was introduced to Seags back in whenever it came out, right?
Yeah.
Didn't really do much for me. 30 years later, I don't know about the month, but the year, I just totally got him. Like, this is the baddest ass thing. I love that record, dude.
That's cool.
It's up there.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah. So that
What
was,
a wreck they were. Worse than Guns N' Roses.
yeah.
You know what I mean? They just imploded.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they made some good music, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good rock and roll.
Yeah. So that was kind of my first introduction to Guns N' Roses, and
So Wes Arkeen, what happened to him?
he died.
Rest his soul.
Heroin overdose. I'd have to look.
Hadn't he burned himself pretty badly?
Well, he'd gotten
oh.
burned. He'd gotten burned somehow. Well, he bought a house down in Hollywood near Melrose, and with his deal with Virgin or whatever, he had pretty good money. And I don't know. I can't remember if he got burned at his house. He got burned somehow pretty bad. Was in the hospital. He ended up, like, at some point when he was doing a little better, he just unhooked himself, went home, and then basically when he got home, shot up and died. And I'm not sure. I think it was 1996, which now that seems really early. But the reason I say that is because in '96 I had 6 friends that died from either alcohol or heroin.
Oh, I got you.
So it just seems like that was the year. But you maybe want to check that. I mean, it's weird putting my dates and things back together because it kind of, after I got out to Hollywood, it became
Died May 30th, 1997.
97.
Okay.
Okay.
As a result of a drug overdose.
So he may not have been one of the 6, but it seemed like, so it was right in there.
So that was him?
Well, there he is.
Oh, man. Cool hair.
Yeah. Little Jewish guy, about 4'10".
No kidding?
No, he might have been a little taller, but not much.
Oh, he did some stuff for Duff and... Oh, right.
Like he co-wrote like The Garden.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's So
he's-
Easy. On the first album, it's like...
Wow.
Yeah, that's almost like a whole nother episode in and of itself.
He's French, huh? He was born in France.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
And they were just giving like 10 songs a year, bud. And they gave him just like a salary.
And I think his salary was $200,000 a year back then.
Oh, that's...
It was
For writing 10 songs?
Yeah. Yeah.
Just sit around and...
Disperse them out to these rock bands, to make sure.
This is when we need video, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
That's life, dude.
It's coming.
Yeah.
It's coming, right? This video's coming.
Yeah.
Yeah. Video's coming.
Yeah.
Wow. That is so cool. I hadn't heard that story about you in the Tascam before.
Yeah. That was, like I say, maybe I'll try to find a copy of that because there's got to be one out there somewhere. I noticed, probably a year ago, I tried to look up some of those old songs, because I've got old versions. You can find old versions of The Garden, and I don't know. There's even, I thought I found a video that they were just in one of the bars in L.A. It was just Axl and Wes, with an acoustic guitar, doing a couple of those old songs that I don't think they ever recorded. So anyhow, yeah.
So you just saw the dude. You really didn't know who he was.
Yeah,
at the time.
I didn't become
there's a
friends with
guy.
him later. Los ended up being pretty good friends with Duff and Slash. That's who we hung out most of the time with, and a guy Todd Crew from Jet Boy.
Oh yeah.
So
Todd Crew.
Those 3 were really tight. Slash, Duff, and Todd. So a lot of times, if we were with one of them, we were with all of them basically. So we hung out quite a bit.
I always wondered if he was always a firecracker, if it's just kind of the industry forced him into that. There was a combination of both, because Duff and Slash are such cool guys, such nice dudes.
Yeah.
So it's hard to tell. Lead singer's disease.
Yeah. I mean, he seemed strange then. The first time I met him, like I say, he's standing. His feet are on where you'd sit on a couch, and his back was up against the wall, and he's kind of had his arms folded, and just didn't say much.
His own thing.
Said hey, when he was introduced, and I don't know why he was standing on the couch. It was a very, it was just weird. Yeah, really weird first.
You can sit on those.
Yeah.
I don't know if you.
Yeah.
Did you guys like the Use Your Illusion. Actually, let's do Lies first.
Well, actually, before we get to Lies, I I saw Guns N' Roses in Salt Lake City opening for Maiden, I didn't want to stick around for Iron Maiden because I was never really a fan.
Right.
Sorry, Vincenzo. But I got turned around as I was walking around the Salt Palace, wound up walking all the way around it. So I'm walking behind it, and Slash is on a BMX bike trying to do tricks.
Oh, really?
So I met Slash, and then Izzy came out and Steven came out. So I met those guys, got my picture taken.
Oh,
with
that's
them.
cool. Just got that photo.
I don't know where they're at. I've got them, though. I had them.
It's around somewhere.
So, yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
You did recently dig up the vinyl from the basements.
That's true. That's true.
On this Indiana Jones escapade you're on, maybe
Exactly.
you will unveil the photo.
Yeah. So that was kind of cool. But anyway, Lies.
Yeah. Did you guys? So it was so anticipated, right? The next thing that was coming out. I mean, that was so.
Well, didn't the label put a lot of heat on them to get something out because they were trying to kind of capitalize on the momentum?
Yeah, because I believe they were signed in '86, weren't they? And
then the album came out in '87, right? Appetite.
Yeah.
Appetite came out in '87.
So Lies came out, was that '88 or '89?
'88.
Okay. Huh.
But it looks like it's just Live Like a Suicide, and then they did some acoustic covers.
Yeah.
Or acoustic.
Yeah.
Patience is theirs. Used to Love Her as a cover? Or is that theirs?
No, that's theirs.
You're Crazy. Oh, so that's all theirs.
Yeah.
So it wasn't too much. It was just something to get out, like what you guys were saying.
Yeah. Which that was the acoustic thing was such a weird departure.
It really was.
But it was really cool.
Yeah. But back then, the touring schedule for those guys, I mean, they launched after Appetite, right? So they had them going around the world for 2 years straight.
Well, it took them about a year to launch with Appetite.
Oh, a little bit about
it
plan.
didn't really take off until they put out the second single,
Sweet Child.
Sweet Child.
Yeah.
That thing blew up.
In fact, that also brings me to another story. So, again, being friends with these guys, we were able to go on location one night when they were filming Welcome to the Jungle. Whoa. And at one point we had a break, and I can't remember. I think it was just me and Los, and I don't. It seems like there was someone else with me outside of Guns N' Roses, but we were on set, kind of. And at one point during a break, everyone had been heavily drinking and everything. We got into this. It was kind of like a makeup, I think, bus, like where they do their hair and makeup, but not like bigger than a van. It was kind of those little buses, but it had like some little glam station set up where you could get your. I don't remember exactly because I was not in too good a shape, but anyway, we got on that bus, which I don't even remember why. But Slash got in the driver's seat, started up, and then we took off and started driving around LA. And he's taking corners. Shit is flying everywhere off the stations and stands. And we got back.
I've never heard this story. So.
Oh, you haven't heard? I haven't told you this. Yeah, so we got back there, and in a normal world, cops are there and you're going to jail. We just got our asses thrown off the set, and I don't know what they got. Obviously went forward with the shoot.
Time, right? They're not calling any cops.
Yeah.
I would shut it down. They're like, you guys just get out of here.
Yeah. So
I bet those guys were trouble.
Oh man,
their managers. Gained years on his life.
We got yelled at and cussed out and thrown off the set and never come back. And, So, but I remember them filming that, and then video just didn't come out forever.
Yeah.
So.
And that was which video was it?
Welcome to the Jungle.
Oh, Welcome.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Because we were filming that. Part of that was in downtown LA. So
like at the first when he gets off the bus and he's got dudes there and he's got his suitcase.
Yeah.
Try to make him look young. Push his hair down.
Little
hayseed.
Little hayseed in his lip.
You did.
Yeah. Rube just got off the bus, man.
Straight off the farm.
That was the idea, huh? And then he goes nuts. I'm in the jungle, baby.
Yeah.
So cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lies. So it looks like they probably just, Oh, Nice Boys is a Rose tattoo cover, and Mama Ken is an Aerosmith, and both of those are on the Reckless Life. Okay. Isn't Rose Tattoo? They're a UK band. Is that right?
Australia, aren't they?
Is it?
Yeah.
You're probably right. Yep, Australian rock band. Old school though, right? Back to 78.
I think so.
All right, so what are your thoughts? I kind of dropped out at that record. I still kept tabs, but Use Your Illusion came out, and it had a production I wasn't particularly fond of. The sound of them changed drastically.
Well, yeah.
Because Terminator 2, right? Well, that was the first unveiling of their sound.
Yeah.
You Could Be Mine.
The
Correct.
thing is, I think Matt Sorum changed their sound a lot. That this changing out of the drummers.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
I think you're probably
that's
right.
big.
That's a good
I mean,
point.
the production obviously as well was a big departure, big deal. But
The guitars weren't quite as raw anymore. It was more...
Yeah.
glossy.
I remember seeing an interview with Slash, and he talked about the fact that there were mixes done of that record that were a lot more raw,
Really?
not as glossy, no horns, no backup vocals, and he said he would love to find a copy of that again because he thought it sounded killer.
Wow.
Because he wasn't a fan of...
That's funny you brought that up because I think I just watched the same thing within this last year.
Yeah.
And he said, I wish I had copies of the original,
Yeah.
recordings of those because they were very stripped down, and
Yeah.
Those guys, they... I would like to know if they got their masters back. I would imagine somebody was able to buy them, right? Because
I don't know.
if they were able to do that, they could go... You know what I mean?
yeah, because that's what I found interesting about this thing I watched was
Yeah.
he seemed to not know or just didn't have them. So someone's got them.
Someone owns them.
Someone's got them. So
Yeah. It was quite a bit of dough.
yeah, that would be cool to hear.
Yeah.
I mean, I like the albums.
Yeah, I do too.
Just,
I revisited them last year, and I've liked more material. I've been like, this stuff's cool now that I've had a little bit of distance,
Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah,
It's just, I think when you do, a double album like that or, two at the same time, just so many songs, a little overwhelming. And then, the production, like you say, was over the top kind of, I liked them, but
Yeah, I mean it was a little bloated with the amount of songs. 'Cause, I mean, do we really need 2 versions of "Don't Cry"?
right.
Probably not.
yeah. I wasn't a big fan of those. That or November Rain. I just didn't really want to hear.
See, I love November Rain.
I just want to hear that.
So grandiose.
Look into your eyes.
You don't want to see Slash playing the lead walking out of the church? I mean, come on, dude.
Do you remember? Was it "Don't Cry" where Axl's Converse is falling to the bottom of the water? Remember that? And he has his own personal axle, and it falls on the ocean.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
But now, hell yes. At the time,
You're
F
embracing
no.
the ridiculousness.
Yeah.
finally, right?
Yeah.
What I loved in
That's
the
brilliant.
November Rain is, you see the big wedding scene inside the church, and it's a big building.
Big, massive
Slash walks
church.
out, and it's a little shack of a church.
Yeah,
It's
I
just
love that
tiny.
too. The highlight of the video for me was just that. It's big, grandiose church. He walks out and it's like
It's this little Western shanty.
it's a little 400 square foot shed.
chapel. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Spinal Tap. The
Yeah.
end, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I can appreciate it now. And one of the records was more rocking than the other ones, right? Wasn't it number 1 that had? I can't remember.
Maybe.
And number 2 had a little bit more, maybe it was just a little bit more dense, more like, not so hit song
My recollection,
oriented.
that sounds right. I have to see the track list to even remember, to tell
Yeah.
the truth.
Yeah, it's been a while, huh?
Yeah.
But they're pretty cool. I've been entertaining buying both of those on vinyl. They're pretty cheap online. So
Those are 2 I need to pick up.
like $25 a pop.
Yeah.
They're double records, so
Right.
Yeah.
with a good release.
Todd was at my house a while back, and we were going through my records, and I had the vinyl copy of
Chinese
Democracy,
Oh, wow.
$1.99.
told me a story I had no idea about. You might know this story. The Best Buy.
Oh, the Axl doing the deal with Best Buy. He said he'd give it to them to release exclusively, but only if they bought 1 million copies.
So like out of the gate, he's
out of the
gonna
gate, he had a platinum record.
certify it platinum.
That sounds familiar
Yeah.
now. Now
Yeah.
that you bring that up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe
So they
you told me that too, but I think I'd heard that.
They didn't have an easy time selling 1 million records, so I waited until it was $1.99 and
That was 13 years, wasn't it, to release
something
it?
like that. Yeah. Yeah.
And so Best Buy was like, all in. Yeah, we'll buy 1 million copies.
Wow.
Of this, thinking that the anticipation was still. They're the only ones that had that
Yeah.
anticipation left.
Right.
Everybody
Yeah.
else was like, yeah.
Yep.
And it came out, and everybody was, there's no way to meet those expectations. There's just no way.
No. Well, the funny thing is, I bought that copy. It was probably years after its release.
But for $2,
$2.
I would have bought it too. It's a nice
Exactly.
edition. Vinyl.
Sure.
And you left the sticker on there too, didn't you?
Oh,
It's
the
still
whole
sealed?
the whole plastic sleeve I left on there. You got
I think I took a photo.
Yeah. So,
$1.99.
yeah. So.
And then don't we have the spaghetti incident in there
That's
somewhere?
right. Yeah, the spaghetti incident.
Was that was after
No, it's up there a little higher.
Illusion? Oh, was it?
Yeah. Yeah,
that-
it was after the illusions. It's right at the top of your page. There we go.
Right in the middle. Yeah.
I feel like Mr. Magoo. What are we looking at? I don't know.
Todd doesn't have his readers on,
Yeah.
which was all covers. Yeah.
All covers.
Oh, was it?
Definitely my least favorite.
I don't even know if I've heard this. I was just aware of it.
Well, you know, the backstory is they would record stuff on tour.
Just like warming up.
No, just like where they'd go into a local studio and lay down some tracks and,
Oh, really?
Yeah. Or they recorded some of it when Axl wouldn't show up to recording sessions.
I was going to
on
say they're probably
Illusions.
waiting for him the whole time.
So, yeah.
They had plenty of time to knock this out.
During some of the Illusion tracking, Axl would go weeks without showing up, and so they'd start throwing down some covers. And
so they had enough to just bang one out.
yeah.
I think my highlight song on that is Ain't It Fun
That's a great one.
Oh, who wrote that?
with
Oh, is it Michael Monroe sings on it?
yes, yeah.
Wrote by Gene O'Connor. Dead Boys, right?
There you go.
Yep.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
That was probably my
Oh,
highlight.
I
on
didn't
that.
know they did a Nazareth song. Is that any good, or is it kind of?
It's pretty polished up.
Yeah.
It's not terrible,
I
but
love
it's
the '70s.
Yeah.
The Dog. I mean,
Yeah.
that record, I like it.
yeah.
See if they. I thought.
Black Leather is Sex Pistols, right?
I think
Yep.
so. Yep.
Yep. Steve Jones, or maybe it was. Who knows? Leaving. Who is? I Don't Care About You.
Fear.
Is it Fear?
Yeah. Which you can tell which one's Duff chose.
Yeah, yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Well, you think about Duff's solo record, that first one. He recorded a lot of that shit at the same time. Started laying down tracks for a solo record when
Oh, he
Axl
did?
wasn't showing. Yeah, because he'd go in and he'd do a drum track, or he'd have Matt do a drum track, and yeah,
And that's still when he was using quite a bit, right? And
boozing up.
wasted.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So he was still
I
thinking.
thought the most interesting cover was the Soundgarden tune.
Oh, they had one on here.
Yeah.
Is that in the middle of the Nazareth?
Is it
song?
Big Dumb Sex?
Big Dumb Sex in the middle of Hair of the Dog?
Is that what it is?
I
Buick
think it's
McCain.
Or is it Buick McCain?
Oh, so it looks like it's a combination of both.
Oh,
Yeah, there you go.
okay,
Okay,
that's
yeah,
what it
not
It's a
was.
medley or
That's
something.
right.
Yes, yeah.
Because it looks like Mark Bolan
Okay.
was Buick McCain and Chris Cornell. Yeah, Big Dumb Sex.
Yeah, because they break into that in the middle of the song. That's right.
Yeah.
I'll have
Almost
to pull
forgot
that up. I'll
Yeah,
have
it's
to
kind of
go
cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So it has its moments for sure. Rob Powers, Stooges, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some cool shit on here, man. Johnny Thunders.
Yep. Couple. Because
New York Dolls, right?
They also do
Yeah.
Can't Put Your Arms Around a Memory towards the end of the album.
Oh, that's cool. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I might have.
But it's all big polished up, big production rock versions.
Like the Use Your Illusion sound.
Yeah.
They were super slick on that. I don't know what was going on. I mean, not horrible. It just
Because
wasn't.
it was still Mike Klink, right? That
Was it?
produced them?
On the Use Your Illusions?
Yeah. Got to check that out.
Yeah.
Produced by. Yeah, engineer, performer, producer.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Then again, you know,
I'm sure Axl had a lot of.
Well, that's
But, you know,
that's the
yeah, I
story
was
and
thinking
everything. Is he, you know,
he kind of just pushing
Yeah.
away like I'm getting my way or
Yeah.
yeah,
I'll make problems.
yeah. I remember interviews of him saying, you know, we've got to bury Appetite. And I don't think he meant that in a way like it wasn't a good album. Just, you know, we got to
move
bury
on.
that. We got to move on. We got to grow. You know, it's just
And who knows, man? You know, they did do cycles of that over and over, those songs, you know.
Right.
Wanted to move away and move to the next chapter. I get it totally.
Yeah.
But
Well,
yeah.
I mean, you look at Axl and all the piano stuff. You can kind of see. I think in his head, he kind of envisioned himself almost kind of like a rock and roll version of Elton John, right?
Yeah, I
You
think
know?
so.
yeah.
Kind of a big
Yeah.
production and
Well, and everyone was showing up on stage and playing with him, or at any
Yeah.
of the award shows. You had, everyone from Elton John to, now I can't think. Tom Petty.
Shaka Khan. Billy Joel.
Probably. Yeah.
Who knows?
Winona Judd.
I bring that up now. My mind goes blank, but I just remember everyone wanting to be a part and have a part of Guns N' Roses.
Yeah.
So they were that was it, right? Oh, they had some live records. Live Era.
Yeah.
I remember those so much.
We'll
those are just put out. But then they were fighting or whatever they were trying to do, and then Snake Pit, right? Was that the first offshoot band?
Well, Duff released the first solo record.
Duff was the first.
Yeah, with Believe in Me.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. So.
And that was that Reloaded or just him?
No, it was just Duff.
Just his name?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would have been around 90.
Believe in Me, right there, 93.
93, okay.
Wow, that's not that much later. Like you said, they were already working on stuff. So I've never heard that record.
Yeah, I've got it. It's
pretty good.
It's decent. Right. Duff's not a great singer.
Oh, he's singing bass.
Yeah.
Doing everything.
Yep.
A lot of songs he did everything. He kind of went the Prince route to recording. Sounds like he's got a stuffed up nose part of the time when he's singing.
He does. It always reminds me he had a guy with a pretty serious cold at the moment.
yeah. Like if he probably wasn't a vocalist guy though, right? So he just singing from. What is so? Was it Snake Pit after that
or Izzy?
Was it?
Where were Izzy's right? Maybe Izzy had the first release.
Is his name Richard Fortus?
No, that's the current guitar player.
Oh, well, I know about Guns N' Roses.
It would be what, Jeff Isabel?
Yeah, Jeff Isabel.
Jeffrey Isabel.
Okay.
That's right. You told the stories last time. About his brother.
Yeah, Joe. I played in the band with his little brother Joe.
So his
Izzy Stradlin and the Juju.
Oh, down there is 98.
No, that wasn't his first one. That was.
Oh, so it's probably here.
Maybe the Juju Hounds. Yeah.
92.
Okay, so he was first.
Yeah, so he was the first gone.
Well, he was out.
Yeah,
he was the first gone. He was like, this thing is.
Yeah.
You hear the stories about him leaving. I know he had trouble with Axl, and they were both from friends from Lafayette, Indiana. But I remember on when they were still touring with in support of Appetite, Joe and I were trying to figure out how to start breaking into the club scene and playing at some of the clubs, but you had to pay to play at them back then, so we were trying to figure out how to get it done, and we didn't even have a finished song, but we called him. They were in Japan. We talked to him when he was in Japan, and he even started crying on the phone. He was so homesick. He just didn't seem to like the big venues, the big giant cities. I just don't think he liked that aspect of being a rock star.
Yeah, there's no real he's hotel.
Yeah,
travel,
I know he really struggled with that, and heard a few of those conversations, but it was kind of the advice he gave was just kind of funny. It's like, well, if you got, because we had a handful of songs we'd started writing, not one of them finished. He's like, well, just go play those. Just get on stage, and when you
go home,
play
at night
through it, and say, that's all we got on that one.
In his own bed. Yeah, I get that. Yeah,
funny, interesting, but.
I bet you. Well, he's also on the writing credits, right, for Appetite and the Use Your Illusions.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That alone, residually, is probably
take care of you.
Yeah.
Probably for the rest of his days.
Yeah,
I'm guessing.
Yeah,
yeah.
But those are huge records. So that's cool. I never listened to this record either. There he is.
Very Stonesy. I didn't love it, but
I didn't know Ian McCullough was in the band. And Juan Crucier. Oh, that's weird.
What a lineup.
Pretty cool. But yeah, so I was thinking Snake
Pit.
Snake Pit was next, but that wasn't until like 97, right? Or 98?
95?
Oh, 95.
I don't know, dude. I'd have to look it up.
You guys got it way better than I do.
I think it was 95 and the next one was 98. Check my rock trivia knowledge.
That's right. It starts to blur a little,
Saul Hudson.
Saul Hudson, thank you. You get so used to their acronym, or not their acronym, but their A, also known as.
Yeah. Slash's Snake Pit.
Right here. 95. No, yeah, first one.
There you go.
Somewhere.
Nailed it.
Wow, he's got the dude from Korn playing on it.
Kerry Kelly from Night Ranger. Right
Yeah.
there, dude. Yeah.
Bass player from...
No, that's the dude from Night
EZO?
Ranger. He's the dude in Night Ranger now.
That's Kerry Kelly?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Geddy Lee was in here, too, for a little bit?
Yeah, on drums.
That's a trip.
We're doing a
Kerry
disservice to this
Kelly.
podcast with no pictures going
I know,
on right now,
huh?
right?
Oh, we need, like, the pictures coming up. Yeah, you're right. We got to get that
Got to
going.
fill that in when you edit. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, so that's 95. So that's pretty much where all the guys are splintered off, and they're starting to do their own thing.
well, and I remember at the time, Axl sued Slash for putting out that record because Axl's like, those could have been Guns N' Roses songs. And Slash is like, I presented those songs and you didn't want them.
Axl, dude. How hard? He said, hey, those are good.
Doesn't sue
Yeah.
Izzy, doesn't sue Duff.
Right.
Slash puts something out.
But he won't do anything until they're recorded and done and out.
Yeah.
Then, you know.
Yeah.
So he said I presented him, and he was like,
Well, because
You didn't
he
like
sued
him.
Slash. Slash was still in the band at that point.
oh, he was?
Yeah, it's just Axl wasn't doing a whole lot. And
What about this? Did you guys like these guys?
I loved Velvet Revolver.
yeah, I did too. I did too.
Yeah.
I did like Velvet.
that first record, man.
I think the second one was underrated too. People kind of shit on that, but I thought it was a
I thought
good
that, yeah.
record.
I thought they were both
working on
solid.
it. I'm still working on number
Okay.
2.
Okay.
I have liked it, but number 1, wow.
Yeah.
You know.
Really good.
And they even had their big, you know, single on that one too.
Yeah. Fall to Pieces.
Thank you. I was
Yeah.
like, what's the name of that song? Big tune.
Yeah.
That old classic Slash in there, and Scott Weiland, amazing vocalist.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know?
That guy was a rock star. He was a rock star.
Yeah, and I was watching some Velvet videos too, and I was just admiring his choice of chorus ideas and vocal ideas, man. You know, just I didn't respect him for a long time. I didn't really listen to much Stone Temple Pilots, so until these guys, I was like, wow, he's really good.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like he had a much different approach in Velvet Revolver. Like he didn't come in and just do his typical Wayland
No,
STP type vocal thing. He went with the music, you know. So
I definitely.
hats off.
Definitely would agree with that.
lots of fun stories in that band too, huh?
Yeah.
About old Matt, with the girls and the booze, and Scott's trying
Trying to stay
cool.
sober.
You know, Scott, hey, keep it down in there. Slash, he was pretty much sober at that time too, right?
I think so.
Pacemaker.
Yeah. Yeah.
Duff was sober. I don't know who this dude is.
Dave
Kushner.
He does the music on Bill Burr's F is for Family.
Oh, he does?
Yeah.
Does he have a history like in bands?
He was in that band Electric Love Hogs.
See the bald guys? They always get in. They sneak their way in.
Well, in the early 90s, you had to have at least one bald guy in the band to
Yeah,
get a
but in
record
the
deal.
80s, you'd never have a bald guy.
No,
in the band,
no.
Unless you were European. You know what I mean?
Because there are no rules.
Then it
Right.
was a skullet. Oh, there was no bald. If it's only back to like here, all right, you're in. But America, no way, dude.
Yeah.
You know. So
That's really true.
well done to him. High fives.
Yes.
Getting in there. Because all these other dudes have cool hair. Look at that. Cool hair club. Here's this guy.
Doug.
Doesn't even have a cowboy hat on. You know what I mean? He's not even doing a hat. He's not even trying the beret, anything, dude. Look at,
Just a big mustache.
yeah, that'll do it.
That'll distract him.
Yeah,
That'll distract him.
down here. Oh, like that first one though. I got to listen to Libertad more
Yeah.
for sure. And then Sorum played in the Cult, so all these guys. Oh, Guns N' Roses was huge fans of the Cult.
Yeah.
Didn't they take him out? Played some gigs with
yeah,
them?
yeah.
The
I
Cult took
think
GNR
when-
out. Yeah.
I think when I did the last pod with you, I talked about
Oh, yeah, we
having
were
backstage
talking
passes
about
Long
that.
Beach Arena when Ian Astbury got arrested or whatever. So, yeah, but Guns N' Roses opened up for them for like I don't know. But that might have been right at the very beginning of their tour, I think.
I think you're right.
Very first leg.
Temple?
Yeah.
Maybe that's how they met. Oh, Sorum, right? 'Cause Sorum toured with him. He didn't play on that.
That would have been.
Or no, is that later? That's later.
Electric?
It would.
Were they touring Electric or? Because if it
Yeah,
was
you're right. It was earlier.
87 would have been Electric, because Sonic Temple came out in 89.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Then it would have been electric.
Yeah.
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 Yep.
Good bill, though. Right?
Yes, it was.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And Sorum was in the band at that time? In
I
the
don't
Colts?
think so. I don't think so.
Was that Mickey dude or
Because
Ricky? Or whatever?
Mickey, the dude who played on Sonic Temple didn't tour. He didn't join the Cult. That was just a studio thing he did, and they got Matt after they recorded Sonic Temple.
Okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they had the dude I was talking about in
right.
Vegas.
Yeah.
Recorded on Electric. He did the tour for Electric. So they didn't meet Matt Sorum until after Adler was out, and they'd gone to see the Cult. And they're like, "That's the drummer we should get."
We'll just poach him here.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's had some great gigs. Colt, Guns N' Roses.
Yeah.
He's been in the Cult
Revolver.
twice because he rejoined him when they fired back up in '99, and they did that
the Beyond Good and
and
Evil.
Evil record.
Got a big money push behind him.
Yeah.
And then Bob Rock. And yeah.
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 That's cool.
Yep.
And we looked at Izzy's stuff. And these guys were always Hanoi Rocks fans, huh? Huge Hanoi Rocks
Yeah.
fans.
Yeah.
That was another band. Like,
Well, because they re-released those Hanoi Rocks records in the States under the Uzi Suicide label.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Geffen let him do that.
and that was the Guns label, right?
Yeah.
It was those guys.
Yeah. So
That
little bits of useless trivia.
No, yeah, I did. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Uzi Suicide. That's a cool name for a record company.
And that they were like they're part of that whole homage band too. Everybody loved Hanoi Rocks down there, right? That was kind of a band everybody thought was killer.
They were that real glam.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah, bubblegum songwriting kind of.
There was also almost
Corky,
like
though.
a little bit of a punkish element to Hanoi.
For
as
sure.
well,
Yeah.
too.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it wasn't like real poppy, I didn't think.
No,
Not in my view, anyway. But yeah.
killer band.
I saw Mike Monroe in maybe 2012. Went to Portland, saw a gig.
Interesting.
One of the best frontman. Him and Juliette Lewis, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
She's a killer frontman.
Yeah, she is.
But yeah, Mike Monroe was so good. Yeah,
Interesting.
Ageless,
Interesting.
yeah.
almost.
Yeah.
His hair
Yeah.
still looks really good.
His hair looks great. He's still got energy. He can still sing. He
Yeah.
still busts out the sax. Does some sax solos during songs, which I'm not typically a sax guy, but Michael Monroe gets a pass.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, or he'll do the harmonica. You know, I mean, he's good.
Yeah.
Talented guy.
Finished, man.
Should have been much bigger.
Yeah, they should have.
Yeah.
And then we talked about Tracy Guns last time, right? Tracy Guns was there at the beginning.
Yeah, he was, but or was it?
Or he said he was.
Well, I hear kind of different versions of stories, and maybe there's different timelines too. But Axl was in LA Guns,
Oh, okay.
and then Axl went off to do something
what-
else, and then he and Tracy hooked up again to do Guns N' Roses. But then Tracy was out, or I don't know.
Wasn't there a version Hollywood Rose? Was that
Hollywood
them?
Rose.
Hollywood
Maybe that's what
Rose.
Axl was doing, was
Yeah,
Hollywood
yeah,
Rose.
Hollywood Rose with Tracy, right?
I don't know.
And then Tracy split off for LA Guns, and then
So-
Axl split off for Guns N' Roses. The whole thing's kind of.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Sure.
I don't remember all that history.
But I know he was
there was a
involved.
connection. They were, a couple of them played together, but
yeah.
And then
I think all of them bounced around some bands for a while. I mean, I think Slash and Izzy were both in London for a while.
Yeah.
So prior to all that, but yeah, there was Hollywood Rose. I think that's where the connection was.
Okay.
That's it.
So they should have rolled Nadir out for Guns N' Roses, right? And took Nadir out as the
Maybe.
Axl would have went, "Hey!" Full circle.
Yeah.
Right? You were in. Yeah. Oh, no, he wasn't.
Needed a
in that.
priest, another hairdresser, right?
yeah,
Is he?
yeah,
No.
Yeah.
Here.
yeah.
Yeah. I didn't know that. He's always had great hair, dude.
All of us failed
Yeah.
rock dudes.
Yeah, I saw him in Jerome, Idaho, probably 8-9 years ago. I hadn't seen him for best part of 20 years, but we kind of met up on Facebook. and got talking. Anyhow, so went and saw a little show me and Tim Stastny at a little bar in Jerome, and yeah, we got talking.
Diamonds?
Yeah.
Was that
Diamonds?
I've never been there. Was that a small venue?
Yeah, pretty cool though. Pretty
What
cool.
a great name for or strip club, rock club.
Yeah.
And we started talking about opening a salon in L.A.
All right.
Killer.
But
Was that DePriest he was touring?
Yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Oh, sweet.
Wow.
Man.
Crazy.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Did he have any of the old DePriest guys in? From
Brian West, their
Still?
bass player.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, he wasn't.
He was also in London.
Yeah.
On a couple of those records.
Yeah,
so.
he played.
Do you have a London vinyl? Nonstop Rock?
I don't think I have it anymore. I think Dustin gave me one.
Yeah.
don't know
I gave you Don't Cry Wolf, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was that the one that was on vinyl?
Yeah, they had
need to get
Nonstop
this.
Rock was on vinyl.
Okay.
And I don't know if Brian West was in then, but then
Right.
they did
Don't Cry Wolf.
Don't Cry Wolf.
And
Fred Coury was on Nonstop Rock.
Yeah.
was he?
And
Yeah.
to tie back to one of our earlier episodes, the drummer on Don't Cry Wolf, Krieger from Jafria.
What?
That's who's playing with him still to these days.
All
To this
right.
day.
Get out of
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
I think he's still playing with him to this day.
That's great.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know why I thought I could
Still
put in.
gigging at 145.
His name's. He was in Jafria, the drummer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
There he is. Look at that. Look at that hair.
Rock and roll ugly.
Fantastic. Play a da rock.
Yeah, and then that was a DePriest. Play the Rock was a DePriest album.
You know, some of the finest artwork in rock history.
Right there.
I want to see a London jet flying over a field
I know I
of
got
heavy
rid of
metal
this,
hands
and
and
I-
are going up in flames.
I shouldn't have, and I'm going to get it back. Look how killer that is.
Yeah, I really loved that album.
Yeah.
Don't Cry Wolf.
Kim Fowley? He was a producer on that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Everybody's dealt with London, right?
Yeah. Black, he played in London.
Nikki
Nikki.
Sixx.
Nicky. Fred Coury. Slash. Izzy.
Yeah. I remember him from the back cover.
Yeah.
Jafries.
Yeah.
Guy Euphoria.
Guy Euphoria?
Guy Euphoria.
Oh, I threw some Jafria on that 80s list for the salon.
Has it come up? Yeah.
It's come up a few times.
Yeah?
How'd that go?
Mostly
You have a lot of
okay. I
questions.
saw a couple of people like looking around like, what the fuck is this?
Really? They didn't come up and say, dude, will you hook me up with this?
Oh,
Who was this?
call to the heart.
It's Guy Euphoria. Or have them try to spell it. Here it is, and show them the cover. Guy Euphoria?
Is that Asian?
Look at that, dude. Is that him back
Yes.
there, Alan?
Yes.
Look at that tease out.
Yeah. Yeah, so you got
Cropped in wolf.
You
Cropped
got
in wolf.
Brian West there to the left,
The blonde.
Nader, the blonde,
Right here.
and Lizzie Gray.
Lizzie Gray.
He ended up after, I think,
Dorian's
this
cousin, right?
Yeah, probably.
Look at this dog. What am I doing here? When do I get that
Wolf.
bone?
Don't cry wolf.
Oh, when do I get that bone? I'm staring at the
You
food.
promised me.
You know that's
stay
like
there
that's
and
probably like a
sure.
stuffed dog or a stuffed wolf, right?
That
pretty
makes it even cooler.
Yeah, it does.
is.
It does.
So it's on wheels just below the legs, and they just wheel it out.
Wheel it in, wheel it out.
Yeah, then Lizzie Gray went on to do bands, what was it, Spiders and Snakes?
Is that any good? That's a yes.
You'd love
Take
it.
that
You'd love
sigh
it.
as a yes.
Yeah. That summed it up
Wait
right
for the
there.
right sounds. 2 sighs. Yeah, it's good.
Todd's looking up the vinyl now.
Yeah.
What was the dude's name? Lizzie Gray.
Lizzie
right?
Gray.
What was his real name is the question, right?
Oh, Vince Gilbert. Yeah, they don't have his other name on here. Oh, there it is.
He died in 19?
No, did he?
Yeah, he did
so.
pass, didn't
Yeah.
he? That's right, I
He's
forgot.
born in 58, 11 years older than me. So, yeah. So 60. Oh, he died in... I didn't know he was in Sister.
Yeah.
Now, was that the Kiss thing?
Oh, I'm thinking of a different sister. I'm thinking of, White Sister.
Oh.
I don't know this sister. In these bands, how many bands are the same name?
Yeah.
Sister.
Right.
White Tower. What was the name of the record you guys are talking about? Oh, Spiders and Snakes.
Yes.
Here, dude. Let's get it. You know they had fun.
I'm sure they did.
Yeah. Oh,
There's
yeah.
a lot of fun to be had.
Yes.
Definitely.
They were 93, 2000 retro. Oh, yeah.
Look at that.
Look at that.
There's an album cover. See, this is why we got to have this shit posted.
Yeah.
We do need this video and streaming so we can have the pictures coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, they didn't even put the record out. It's just CD. Bummer. I'm sure there's lots of bids out right now to get the rights to put that out.
High demand.
Yeah, look at that. Oh, man. It's hard to, when it comes down to going for serious, when you know how many laughs can be infused, you're like, what's a better payoff at the end?
Oh, man.
That's great. Wow, so we got from Guns N' Roses to Spiders and Snakes.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot.
Well, dudes, I think we covered it. You guys think of anything else?
I think we covered a lot of ground.
out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Got through
Nice.
a lot of stuff.
Right.
So, yeah.
Veered off. And that's what happens with some of those bands,
Yeah.
Well,
Plus, we heard some new stories.
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
That was cool. It just takes a while to jar up the memory. It's so long ago and so much.
Yeah. I assumed I'd probably told you those before, but
No, I didn't know you were on the set for.
welcome.
You guys did a lot. Yeah, it was a lot of stuff. There's probably a lot happening when you were living down there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like all the time.
Well, it's just timing. Timing was everything, It was,
Yeah.
couldn't have probably been a better time to actually live in Hollywood and with the whole scene the way it was. It was really cool.
Yeah, if you're into that music at all.
Great
Yeah.
experience.
Flyers on the poles, stacked on top of each other, right?
Yeah.
That was even still going on that summer of '88 when I came out for a week. I remember bands out there just flyering and shit and handing out
Yeah.
little handbills and
The streets littered with them.
yeah.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
When did you go out there? When did you live out there? I always forget.
Well, that summer I came to visit you.
Yeah.
That was the summer of '88.
Yeah.
So
And I remember
I came
you
out
lived
for a
out
week.
there, though, like later.
Yeah,
You went out-
'96.
Went out and played.
Yeah.
You lived out there for a little bit?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
you
what was
told
that
me.
band you played in? I always forget that name.
The Immortal Gonzo Roshis.
Roshis?
Roshis, yeah. Like the religious dudes, whatever
Yeah,
the fuck they are. Yeah.
What'd you think?
Well, the singer went on and he was in Drowning Pool on the second record.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was
All
on their second record.
Okay.
But that band, Drowning Pool, they went like through a singer every album. Like the first guy died, like had a heart condition.
Yeah.
And then Gong was on the second record, and then he was out, and then someone on the third, and then I don't know. It's
Wow.
they've been kind of a troubled band in that regard. So
Yeah, it'd be tough to get a solid collective together, right? Especially in a creative space,
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah,
all functioning without.
yeah.
for sure.
Definitely
Yep.
tough, even with Guns N' Roses, man. Those guys were, for as much as they got done, it's pretty
Yeah,
good.
it's amazing they got that done. Tell you the truth, when you
Yeah, right.
really think about it,
Yep.
Yeah.
it was
Drowning,
definitely a time bomb.
Drowning Pool was a lot like kind of Puddle of Mud too, right?
I
time?
mean, kind of that heavy
Nu metal?
new metalish thing. Yeah, yeah.
Because when you said singer things, I was thinking of Puddle of Mud.
Yeah.
I think they have their things too, problems.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, that singer's a mess, right? Just like with
think so.
booze and whatever.
I think
Yeah.
so. I don't
So.
know. Crazy rock and roll.
That's
Yeah.
what it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, dudes. That's it.
Wrap it up.
All right.
All
Episode
right.
8. We're out.
Till next time.